Yep. I do that sometimes. I accidentally leave the copy too much,
Mm-hmm.
and then Craig doesn't work. So boy howdy, let me tell you about my day. So Sunday, I had told you that there were many people in my office with COVID,
Mm-hmm.
or family members, whatever. I'm the what was the acronym we came up with today?
Designated survivor.
TLP, TLPS, the last provider standing.
Uh-oh.
So my boss is the center director. She's a therapist. So we have 3 therapists and 3 nurses plus 2 caseworkers and then front desk staff. We have 1 therapist left. That one is me. My boss, her son got COVID. One of our nurses, the one who had COVID, she still hasn't recovered really. Like she got it bad. So she's still not able to come back to work. The other 2 nurses, their children also have the COVIDs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other therapist, um, his name is Ross. Ross had COVID really bad
Mm-hmm.
about 9-10 months ago, like right before the vaccine. He had it really bad, and he's got people in his orbit that have it. And so with everybody in the office, he's like, screw it. I'm quarantining. I'm using my vacation time, my sick time. I don't want to die. So I'm running the office right now. Just me, myself, and
So how
I.
many Herman Cain awards are you expecting to hand out?
All of them. No, yeah. It was me, the 2 caseworkers, and the front desk. And she's gonna be gone tomorrow, the front desk lady. But it's not COVID related as far as I know.
Yet.
Although after her little stunt she pulled with Florida,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't really trust her about that stuff. So who knows?
I'm surprised that she still, has a job.
I can't believe she didn't get fired either.
She either has dirt on someone or, holy shit.
What?
Well, since we were talking COVID, I went over to the West Virginia COVID dashboard.
Yeah.
Daily percent positivity is 14.55.
Damn.
Now, mind you, the governor at one point said that if the cumulative percent positive hits 5%, he was going to shut down the state. Mind you, that's also fucking hard to hit because, doing an average with a bunch of low numbers, right? It's at
Yeah.
5.35 right now. So, not shut down. Hell, he's still balking on a mask mandate for schools because, right?
Yeah. Because of course he is. But yeah, so I'm the last provider standing. If I am not
Mhm.
there for any reason, the clinic has to shut down. So even if it's not COVID, even if I like just need to take a day off for something, clinic shut down and within the next 2 weeks. So I had a
Have you renegotiated your pay?
I got a I got a 3% raise just before this.
At a zero, right?
Right.
For the next
Um
2 weeks, you should get hazard pay.
I spent this morning um with my hair metaphorically on fire, being like, well, okay, let me just like drink all of this information in through a fire hose about administrative duties that I have to take care of and procedures that I didn't need to know about, and having to make calls on, like, I mean, some literal calls, but also like sort of, metaphorically, like calling the shots on some clients that, should, could or could not come in, or, making the executive decision to be like, well, these people can't come get their medication because there's no nurses. So, we might as well cancel their
Mhm.
other appointments for this thing or that thing. And then you message me about SnowRunner. And then this
Oh,
afternoon I was like, um, I
fuck it,
told
right?
I told Heather at front desk, I told her, I was like, okay, I'm tired. My brain is mush. I've got 1 client I need to be prepared for this afternoon. I'm gonna go close myself in my office. If you really need me, page me. And then I played SnowRunner for like 2.5 hours after lunch.
Hey, you can't knock my logic on getting that edition, though, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because if at any point we had to get the game, it'd be like an extra $5 or $6.
Yeah. So I've played on Wyoming. I got all of the towers on the first map,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went looking for the Ford F-750,
Mm-hmm.
and I found it on the Russian map. So I found it, but you have to drag it back to a place in order to actually
Mm.
claim it.
Well, uh the tote trailers are a lot handier for that than what we've
Yeah.
been doing. Uh,
The map that it's on
mhm.
is a fucking hellscape. What's the snow plane in like Norse mythology? Is that Hyberheim?
I think
It's like that. Oh my god, that map is terrible.
in
I gave
awesome.
up. I mean, yes, it's going to be very challenging. I gave up trying to navigate it in anything other than what is it, the Tuz,
Hmm.
like the military APC thing, and even it struggled in certain places. Oh, and that map has ice that can give way when you're driving across the ice lake.
Ooh,
Um, it's not at least the place that I fell through the ice wouldn't have like, you know, drowned a truck. But I think if I had been in any other truck, I would have been stranded in the middle of a frozen lake and would have had to have gotten another truck out there to pull it free or just recovered.
hmm.
But
Yeah.
that,
One thing I found annoying. I'm not sure if it's uh, just because I didn't restart the app, but I had to manually download the different parts of the DLC.
yeah, I had to do that too.
Okay.
I went into the Windows store
Hmm.
and went to my purchases because it like I did it a couple of times and they weren't downloading. So I just found it there and manually
Well. Here's the
installed it.
thing: is that because of the way it handles the DLC, it's basically just a license key, and that's it. Because remember, uh, if I was hosting with the DLC and you didn't have it, you could still join me on a map.
Yeah.
So obviously, you'd have to have the files already downloaded.
Yeah. Fair point.
Didn't think about that, did you?
I did not know.
The only restrictions would be that you couldn't get the DLC trucks.
Which so far, I like the little scout truck that you said you didn't like.
Well,
Um,
the
it
thing is,
does.
I went in and I downgraded its engine. It's a bit better. Um, I'm not sure if it's just because I had unlocked a better engine for it, but it chugged the fuel. I mean, it's kind of that joke of the sports car that revs up and you could just see its that fuel tank go drop to zero.
Yeah. The engine that I was using combined with the Snow Runner transmission, it was using like 1 gallon per minute, which with an 11-gallon fuel tank is a lot,
Hmm.
but it was excellent for Wyoming because that map is extremely rocky and has lots of deep water.
Well, I haven't gotten to any of the other maps yet. I've been actually working on the doing missions without taking damage.
Yeah. The
Good.
Wyoming map is neat because it has, in order to sort of jumpstart the map,
Hmm.
you are essentially, to get your first sets of resources going, you go and you tear down old stuff. So like a warehouse might be worth, 2 things of steel, um, and 2 things of wood. And when
Yeah, I
you get
might
those
head
resources, it
to
would tear it down.
Yeah, I might head to Wyoming and take a look, see around there.
But yeah, ground clearance is a must. It's like, I think the theme of that map is like massive rock slide or no, I think the area is hit by like a hurricane or something. So there's flooding and there were like some rock slides and
In
the terrain
Wyoming.
is, maybe it wasn't a hurricane.
Yeah, I was going to
Something.
say Wyoming.
Maybe it was tornadoes. I don't know. It has experienced a natural disaster and the map is like a mess.
I know. The super volcano in Yellowstone. Explains why nobody else is around. There
Right.
is nobody else.
They all died.
Of COVID. They got Herman Cain Awards. Yeah, if maybe it's fucking dark of me, but every so often I go on the Herman Cain Award subreddit and just start reading. But maybe it's just the Schadenfreude of seeing somebody post, anti-vax memes. COVID's a joke. It's just control. Then suddenly they get it. Oh shit, it's real. And often, the end cap is an Indiegogo for their funeral.
Yeah.
Fucking dark of me, I know, but right.
Yep. Did you see the guy? I mean, there have been many of them, but there was one that this guy's like picked up some traction for some reason. Who was like an Alaskan, you know, Trumper, yada yada. One of the and had posted like a message that we've seen before of like, this COVID thing's fake, and if I have to get COVID and die, like, or if I get COVID and die, it'll prove that whatever is real. But
Hmm.
you'll see, I won't. And then like later on, he posts like a final message before he dies from COVID. It was like right before they put him on a ventilator, and then later he died.
I think I've seen that one, but I can't really recall it because there's been quite a few of those.
Yeah. What did you say your percent positivity was? 14 point something percent?
14.55
Tennessee's is
today.
18.3
Shit.
for yesterday. That's a good day. Shit, dude. Friday, 21.7. So last Friday, 20.7. Last Thursday, 21.5. Last Wednesday, 24.9. Can I get an F in chat? Paying respect to all those dead folks.
Uh,
I'm going to hell for that. Lots of those, I'm sure, are children because my state and governor
yeah,
suck.
yeah. The heart wrenching one on the Herman Cain Awards is a nurse posting about this guy in the ICU. He overdosed on emerfrican, emersican,
I,
one
I
of
don't.
the dewormers or livestock pills that they can
Ivermectin?
push. Ivermectin, yeah, I think.
Okay.
Well, there's a V in there. Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess I
there's a
was.
few. I think
Yeah,
ivermectin is like the generic or the most common or something like that.
yeah.
But there's more than one.
He overdosed on it and
Yeah.
fried his liver, and he's now blind from it, and in liver failure, and is not eligible for a transplant because he's also fighting off COVID, and it's just wrecked his system on top of liver failure.
You know what? Fucking good. You do that shit to yourself, you don't get a transplant. You get to die.
Damn. Right?
Yeah, I know. I know. That sounds terrible, but fuck them. I just save that liver for somebody who's in liver failure because of the assholes who are doing this. I have no sympathy for these people. None. No sympathy, no empathy. Nothing.
I mean, just whew. Yeah, well, also, yeah, some of these people obviously had it coming, but then there's others that asked for information and had their anti-vax friends jump on it like fucking idiots.
Like white on rice
Yeah,
in an igloo in Alaska or in Alaska in the middle of a snowstorm.
yeah, and they listened to their friends over the media because the media is trying to kill them, and it turns out it's the friends all along.
Yep.
I saw one where it was after the person died, her sister got on her Facebook account. It just tore into her family and friends that killed her sister. I mean, just pure unadulterated rage. It was beautiful, but also sad, right?
Yeah. For anyone listening to this and whenever it comes out in the future as Franken content, um something that I have had people say to me specifically, I don't know if you've ever gotten this or not, rage from anybody, but whenever I talk about
Well,
this,
not
sometimes
COVID
people
yet. I've been trying to avoid it.
fair play. But whenever I talk about stuff like this, people are like, "Well, why don't you just move? Like if your state sucks so much, why don't you just move?" I would if I could. Telling somebody to just, and this isn't like directed at anybody, it's like
Mhm.
a, wag my finger, but like to maybe explain this a little bit. Telling somebody to just move either comes from a place of, you
Privilege.
privilege or just a lack of understanding. And again, I'm not trying to like talk down to anybody, but I'm not rich, so I can't just like dump everything and move. I don't have the resources available to me to do so. And I'm edging up towards that quote unquote middle class line. Like I have
That
been
doesn't really exist anymore. Let's be
n-
perfectly honest.
true, but I have been um what's the term for it? Class mobility. Like I have been over the last year making more money. My wife has made more money. Like we're making more money. We can support our lifestyle, and as long as we don't get too crazy and nothing terrible happens, like we can pay our bills without really having to worry about it. That's the point that we're at now compared to that a couple of years ago, which is nice, but that's not drop everything and move kind of money. And that ignores other circumstances like closeness that we have to friends and family in the area, stuff related to a career that would basically mean having to start over in certain respects. I'm
Mhm.
working on those things, but I'm a year or two from everything except a financial standpoint of being able to just drop and leave without there being something much more severe. And that's just me, and I'm doing pretty okay in the grand scheme of things. So I understand. And trust me, one day I'm leaving this shithole state, maybe this shithole country. We'll see. But the time is not right now unless things take a major rapid nosedive, at which point, it doesn't fucking matter. We're entering like refugee types of scenarios that I'm thinking of here.
Yeah, and that's also ignoring the fact that you're also just dooming people if you just pull up stakes and move instead of trying to change the system, right?
Yeah.
And the way the United States works is that it's very easy for things to have a domino effect. Like, well, let's pull one almost at random, Texas. Never mind the fact that Texas also has an inordinate amount of pull in the United States just because of its sheer population.
Yeah.
That, yeah, whatever they order textbooks as an example, you're not going to have the Texas version of that. You're going to have more right-leaning textbooks, and it drags everything else further that way. Well, if Texas, passes some crazy ass law that I'm sure we're going to get into on the actual recording, yeah, other states are going to, look at that and think, if they could do that, right?
Other states like, oh, just pulling a random one out of my ass. Not like they've made moves towards this already, like Florida.
And then, when there's two states doing it, a third will join, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. And then suddenly you're looking at half the country fighting, fundamental rights for reproductive health or voting rights or who knows, maybe
Marriage equality
yeah, I
or
was going to say, then
trans
who knows?
rights.
Then who knows? Maybe we're going to start seeing, racial divides again because, right? Or I
God,
should say, enacted in law.
already like it's 1959 with Jim Crow laws.
Uh, Back when America was great, right?
Uh, if they'll take me, I'm fucking siding with the Black Panthers on this one. I don't know. I'm a white guy, so they might shoot me on sight. And you know what? Fair.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you try to hide the fact that you're a white person, it's even worse because then you're in blackface.
I could not pass myself off as any type of racial or ethnic minority. Even if I could get I'm just going to say makeup for shorthand, correct, I couldn't do it. I'm way too fucking white. So, yep. If that happens, I'm just going to have to hope that the Black Panthers are like, yeah, no, we can see your history of things and you're all right. You're one of the good ones. And I'll be like, yay. And if not, they'll just kill me and I'll be okay with that. Cuz,
Well, look at it this way: they would just be beating the Republicans to it, right?
shit, dude. Low blow, but also true. All right. What do we have news wise? Because I immediately pulled up Craig because I was like, I want to get my bitching about the clinic stuff on for Franken content.
We got Tripwire as Franken or not Franken talk, community content.
Right. Oh, and I saw this too. The was this posted in our submissions? The Paradox Women.
No, at least not that I saw. I pulled that one.
Okay, I saw that somewhere today, probably on Twitter.
I mean, that one might be best to hold off on because, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we
It's
got the
here we go again.
Tripwire. Yeah. So we get Tripwire CEO and how gaming will change
Yeah,
humanity as
I
we know it.
editorialized that to combine them. You could change it if you want.
Nah, I'll leave it the way it is. Let me delete this stuff. I've got tea instead of coffee. My throat's a little scratchy. I
I wasn't expecting a long episode, so I didn't grab coffee today.
yeah, that's fine. I might have injured my throat a little bit doing a character voice for Star Wars RPG last night.
Uh-oh.
So Sal is probably gonna officially be retired. I mean, you don't know Sal, but yeah, it hurt. It's fine in short bursts. It's kind of like a sling blade voice is what I was going for.
Hmm.
But a little bit more sort of growly and southerny.
Yeah, y'all came to the wrong side of the galaxy.
Hey, hey, it's Sal. Sal over here from Sal's Starship Emporium. What can I do you for?
That's a ride!
But, doing that for a few seconds is fine. Doing it in a scene that lasted for like 35 minutes last night, oof, pain, pain and suffering. But you got to commit to the bit. You always have to commit to the bit. All right, I need to paste the things. Let's paste the things. News items and sources. Paste. All right, so we're gonna do games we've played, and then both of our topics this week are submissions from Jim.
Yeah, I need to read over the Gaming Could Change Humanity. I was grabbing other stuff and didn't get a chance to. I mean, I think this is going to be more your side of things, though. You guys right?
Not sure. I haven't read it yet, but possibly. Let's take a look.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
It's over 9,000. God coming in with a hot take. So I follow
Uh-oh.
at the tweet of God on Twitter. So, God. I follow God. Just tweeted Texas just criminalized abortion, but Mexico just decriminalized abortion. So at least there's still one side of the Rio Grande you can row or wade. Mwah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I retweeted that one
Copy that.
because I also follow God.
Excellent. Dump that into the memes. Where you at? Memes. Memes. Paste. And then save to my meme folder. And then also, this one's going straight to Facebook. There's not even a waiting period. This isn't going to go into the folder and save for later. No. Straight to Facebook.
Do you follow Technology Connections?
Yes, I do follow Technology Connections
I
on
just
Twitter.
saw his tweet.
Oh, I have not seen his tweet. What is his
I don't
tweet?
know how anyone can trust trains. A lot of them have motives that are frankly loco.
Oh, I love all of his puns and, just silly jokes. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
That's also getting a retweet. A reply. How long did you chew on that one before deciding to send the tweet? All right. I'm gonna say the beautiful bye-bye for the second time because I'm just getting more and more yawny. I'll give you a kissy face.
Oh, I hope Jim gets that one. That you killed him.
Yeah, we'll
And
see if Jim
bye-bye.
gets it or not. Yeah. Oh, all right. Save. Do the things. Oh no. Now I want chicken nuggets.
Wait, why do you
Just
want chicken nuggets?
I was scrolling through my Twitter timeline before I closed the tab,
Mm-hmm.
and from the San Francisco Chronicle. I don't know why this is showing up in my timeline, but it's here. It probably is an advertisement. Uh Impossible or no, chef said they don't think they'd be able to tell in a blind taste test the difference between an impossible nugget and a real chicken nugget. I'm like, I want some chicken nuggets.
Question before we
Answer.
get into this: with or without dipping sauce?
The picture has got dipping sauces, but I don't know. Let me click on the link. You got me. Twitter ad. I clicked on your link.
He goes, right? Because dipping sauces, a good dipping sauce can cover up a lot.
Let's see.
I mean, let's be honest. Chicken nuggets are just really delivery device for dipping sauce.
They can be, but I also sometimes like to just eat good chicken nuggets. Talking about the texture and the taste of the vegan Impossible chicken nuggets. No mention of sauces. Oh, yep. When you pair them with a honey Dijon mustard, or even the old favorite or the old children's favorite of ketchup, you really can't tell the difference. So yeah, their sauces are making up the difference.
Which is less impressive.
Less impressive, yes. Now the question is, how much do they cost? It doesn't say
Mhm.
here how much they cost.
Yeah, and that's the other rub, isn't it?
Yep.
Is that well, vegetarian, I shouldn't just say vegan, stuff is stupid expensive. I mean, if you have the know-how, you can make it a lot cheaper than what you could get in the store.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of time and a lot of effort to get it to a place where just buying a pound of ground beef, right?
Yeah.
One thing I really like is I do have a couple of vegetarian cookbooks. It that goes not meat replacements, but celebrating vegetables, or or going to cultures that are less meat centric. For example, like Asian cooking, there's a far better selection of low or no meat options.
Yeah.
Although I do have to admit, I have made bean burgers before, and they're not bad, but I don't have the expertise for them, so still learning on that one. And I've also, well, have you seen people doing the gluten meat, the seitan?
The what?
It's a seitan or seitan. It's essentially uh, there was a TikTok meme or well, not meme, but trend for a while. That is basically making this meat substitute that is the gluten network of bread dough.
Mm-hmm.
By basically making starting a loaf of bread, and then once you're at the point where it's kneaded to the proper consistency, instead of letting it rise and everything, washing off all the starch and everything, and which leaves this ball of gluten. Which, mind you, for a your typical flour, your typical all-purpose flour is somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 11% protein. That gluten, glutamine and glutamine, that makes the gluten when it comes together.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're losing a lot to follow these TikTok recipes when there's a lot easier ways to go about it. It's something I've been meaning to try sometime. It's used to make vegetarian meat because if you do it right, the of gluten come together to make like a meat-like texture.
Yeah.
And there's vegetarian friendly flavorings, or just flavor with mushrooms and that sort of thing. But one of the components that in my bread baking is actually how you typically make it, which is with vital wheat gluten. So flour is 10 to 11% gluten or protein content, which forms that. The vital wheat gluten is 70 to 75, depending on the brand. So a lot less washing and cleaning, right?
Yeah.
And I use it to basically bump up the content of my all-purpose flour to get a chewier bread. By the way, that's why I actually have it, so I don't have to worry about keeping bread flour, cake flour, all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour. It does knock down at least a couple, and it's also so then I can adjust in different recipes. Maybe once I get through this massive amount of leftovers I have to deal with, that could be a project. And I know I've went completely off the rails, huh?
Extremely. But that's okay. That's what we do. We go
Yep.
off the rails.